Hello engineering students. In this video lesson, I'm going to attempt to teach you how to design a tiny house that can be laser cut on our laser machine. So if you go on Google, and you can do this with me now, and you search cardboard laser cut house and do the image search, you're going to see a lot of really great examples, really complex examples, some themed examples. Our goal for this video lesson is to make something very simple. These are way too complicated for the beginning lesson on how to make a laser cut house. But this is the goal. This is where we should end up once we have a few skills learned. With that being said, your computer should have the software program called Inkscape on it. If it doesn't, you need to see me so I can install it on your computer. So if you go to Start and you're looking in your Apps menu, under the I section, where is it? You should see a piece of software called Inkscape. And when you click that, it'll open up. And then I'm going to maximize this. Now, make sure, so you might have a new version or an old version. There's a very specific version that we need to be using. So in the Help menu, you should see About Inkscape. Click on About Inkscape. And it should say 0.92, and then in the top right, it should say 0.92.4. If it says anything other than 0.92.4, stop what you're doing, and I will come over to install this version. You need to tell me immediately that you don't have this version so I can put it on your computer. With that being said, once you have the correct version, you need to set up this software so that it works the way I teach it. So what you need to do is go to the View menu and make sure you're on the default view setting right here. Okay. Our next step is to go to the File menu, click on Document Properties. A Document Properties window will pop up. Click on US letter to start so that it can convert things to inches. The display unit should also be in inches. And what we're going to do is we're going to change the width to 24 and the height to 12. This is the size of the bed, the table, the cutting bed of the laser machine. Click Escape and it'll stay set to those settings. Now find under extensions, there's these three buttons here. There's this zoom button which should zoom, and it should show you the entire canvas, this rectangle, this white rectangle. You should also see a ruler right above it from 0 to 24, from, where is this? From, oh, the 0 starts down here, 0 to 12. So this is the size of the cutting bed on the laser machine. So we design everything as if we're designing inside of this laser bed. So if you think about a basic house shape, you know that it's going to have four sides to it. In Inkscape, we can easily draw rectangles using the rectangle creation tool. Now, your tool might be set up strangely, so let's just do a check here. So click on the rectangle tool and then click and drag. So mine happened to be gray and there's no outline on it. That's fine. Let's make it what it should be at the end. If we were to, let's say we wanted to cut out a rectangle for whatever reason, maybe we need it for, something that we're building. Once you draw your rectangle, click this select tool here and then click on the rectangle. So if you click off of it, it'll get deselected. If you click on it, it'll get selected. Just some quick notes: the corner arrows, that will let you adjust the size. If you click on it one more time, you can actually rotate it. This yellow arrow right here is undo. But what we need for the laser, specifically for the laser, we don't color it in any other way other than what I'm showing you in this video lesson. We need to find the Edit Colors menu here. It's next to a T. So click that and a menu should pop up. All right, so you have this fill tab, stroke paint, and stroke style. The fill tab, we want that to say no paint, so click on that X. For stroke paint, just click on it, but don't actually click on anything else yet. On the bottom row, you see a bunch of colors. Hopefully you have your mouse connected. You're going to move your mouse over the red. You're going to right click and then set stroke. So that'll set the stroke, the outline of your rectangle, your square, whatever it might be. We want it on that setting. For stroke style, this changes a few times throughout our design process. You have your units. Let's leave it on pixels and put it on 2 pixels for now so you can see it. Later on, when our whole drawing is complete, we're going to select everything that we've made, come back here, and we're going to make it PT and 0.072. This is crucial. This is the width of the laser cut, and the laser machine will not cut anything unless it's in this specific width. Now I pressed enter. Look how you can barely see it on the page. That is why when we are designing, we change it. We can leave it in PT if you want. 1 PT, you can still see it. If that's still hard to see, you can change it to 2 or 3. So the only reason we change the width in the beginning is so that we can actually see it on our screen. But at the very end, we're going to want to change that width so that the laser can actually read it and be able to cut what we want to cut. Okay, I'll close that menu. Now, I'm going to select the rectangle again. The rectangle, if I'm clicking on the center, there's nothing in there. So there's nothing to click on. If I move my mouse to the edges or the lines, then I can click on it and then there's stuff to click on. So remember how I said the basic house shape is going to just be 4 walls. So let's go ahead and determine our size here. So with that selected, we should see a menu above the ruler, and we have our width and height. This might not be in inches, so change it to inches. And let's make the height, let's say 5, and let's say the width 4. Enter. Okay, so this is going to be 1 wall. And I'm going to just leave it right here for now. Let me show you the edit menu. In the edit menu, there's an option called duplicate, or you can press Control D. So I clicked on that, and what happens is it does a copy and paste, but with 1 button. So now if I move that over, I have another wall. You might see that if you're moving stuff too close to each other, so this shape is very close to the other shape, see how it's kind of snapping to the corner? I want to do that. That's fine. We should let it do that. Okay, let's do that again. I'm going to press Control D and Control D. Okay, so now, actually I'm going to click and press delete. I only want the 3 for now. For this rectangle right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to need a house shape. Let me show you where I'm trying to go with this. So here's a finished version. It's in the wrong color and it's in the wrong line width, but this is kind of what I'm going for in the video lesson I'm teaching you. Okay, so we're going to be making little window holes. We're going to make a point here, a little door, and so on. Let me go back to where we are. Okay, so with one of the rectangles selected, click on Path, click on Object to Path. Now we have this node editor right here. We're going to click on that, and we're going to move our mouse right in the center, and we're going to double click. And what that did is it added a node. Now if I click on it and hold down, I can drag it up and down. Okay. Now I want it centered. So if I'm like near the center and I hold down Control with my left finger, I'm able to drag it and keep it symmetrical. So I'm going to drag it up like that and click select, and that I'm happy with that. So that's about 7 inches tall. That's what we want. If you get stuck with that, I know that's kind of a difficult step. Just go back, rewatch the video, and if it doesn't click or work for you, then come ask for my help. Okay, I'm going to press Control D on the keyboard, or edit, duplicate, and I'm going to drag that over. So here I have the 4 basic walls. And what else am I going to need? So I'm going to click on this one and duplicate that. And for this one, I'm going to drag it up. Let's make that long. That's going to be the roof. I think that'll be the roof. Let me look at my example. What did I do for this? I did the bottom as the roof. Oh, I see. This should still work. Let me just draw another rectangle under here. Like that. That should work. Okay, let's draw a little door. And that's the rectangle tool. And then we're going to draw little windows. But this time I'm just going to use duplicate and the arrow keys on the keyboard. Now check this out. If I hold shift and click on 2 shapes and press duplicate, and then that down arrow, it will do that. So duplicate. If you click and drag across shapes, you can select multiple shapes. I like the way that looks. I'm going to duplicate this again and drag it over. This time, watch. I'm going to hold down Control and grab a corner, and then that's going to be on my door. That'll cut that out kind of nice. Let's look at my example. I'm getting a little more fancy with what I'm showing you now. All right, so if you're able to get this far on this, that is fantastic. This is all we should be able to do by the end of this video lesson so far. Now there's some things that we have to do to finish up to make sure it's going to cut. Press Control A on your keyboard to select everything, and then go back into the fill. Make sure your stroke style PT, your point is 0.072. Press enter, and you'll be barely able to see it, which is fine. Click the save button. You're going to save this as house cut and your name, and click save. This file then will get sent to me. I'll inspect it, make sure it's gonna work with the laser machine that we have, and then I'll cut it out, and you'll be able to make it on, it's gonna get cut on cardboard to start. Let me just increase this. It's gonna get cut on cardboard to start off. You'll use hot glue to assemble it all together. There will be an example out for you to look at. And then, once you're happy with that, we'll move on. We'll add some more details to our building. Maybe we'll add a roof shape that is more intricate or look like shingles. Or maybe you want to engrave on it, put your name on it, put some people on it, or even make a fence and get really, really creative with this new skill that you just learned. So good luck with that. If you get super duper stuck, let me know and I'll be around to help.